Hi, I'm Chris Hanley, and this is yet another video on how to play Warmachine. So once we've done our movement, we're going to get around to combat actions. As I said, you get your basic, initial combat actions. So if you're, say, a warcaster like Alistair Kane, he has 2 pistols. If he moves, he can then make 2 initial shots because he's got two pistols. Or if you're like Vilkul, she has a axe, and so she can make 1 initial attack, which may be either, if she's not in close combat, she can throw her axe, so that's a ranged attack, or her initial attack might be that she uses it in close combat against something that's within range, so she makes a melee attack. Now, some models, be they warjacks, war beasts, warcasts, etc., or some units, they may have special attacks, and these special attacks and special actions can be performed and can be performed instead of performing their initial attacks, and these can have special abilities that are different to what they normally get from their basic attacks that they normally perform. There are also ways in the game to gain additional attacks after your initial ones. So this normally is going to be something that warcasts and warlocks can gain, and also warjacks and also your war beasts. And that's generally through either spending focus points or incurring fury, if in the case of war beasts, or spending fury points in the case of warlocks. Then the other thing to note about combat is, of course, if you're doing shooting attacks, you're going to have to rely on line of sight. So models have volumes, so that means if you're unsure if you can see a model, its volume is basically its base and a certain height above it. So it's kind of like it's basically, think of it as a cylinder. So as long as you can see a point of that cylinder, you can see the target. So that means if it's got really big arms and really big weapons that extend off the bases, that doesn't mean you can see the target. You've got to really basically see that column. So that's how line of sight works. And of course, some terrain, no matter its size, you can say is obstructing, so you can't see over it. Some terrain, like trees, you can't see through them. You can see into them and out of them, or through them up to 3 inches, but you can't see all the way through them, no matter the thickness of the tree template, as it were. So it doesn't matter if the trees are only 1 inch wide zone, you can't see directly through it. But if you had a model that was sat in it, or the target sat within it, you can see that target because it's less than 3 inches deep.